Everybody, this is Luke Reardon for Mod 4, Understanding My Community. So some of our community customs and traditions, yes, we do. In our school system, we do have homecoming. That's actually this coming week, and it is, we actually have a dance before our, just our student dance that includes anybody who's graduated from our school, which I think is very, very cool, and it brings a lot of people back from, places they might have moved after they graduated from high school here in Solomon. We do also things like, homecoming game. We decorate our track with water-based paint. Just anything to get everybody involved and everybody out and showing that school spirit. Our town is pretty leans right and very they're kind of a Christian town. So Christmas, 4th of July, Halloween, they're pretty well big community events. As far as community suppers, we have 3 different churches in our small town of just 1,000. And it's kind of cool to see the churches kind of intertwine and help each other out. The Catholic Church has a chicken noodle dinner, while the Presbyterian Church here, they kind of combine with the Yoked Parish Church, and they have a big sandwich soup feed in the middle of the winter. And people intertwine, and they're always advertised in the other churches' bulletins, so it's kind of cool to see the churches intertwining like that and helping each other out. Solomon Pride Committee Pancake Feed. The Solomon Pride Committee is something that was started by a random parent here in Solomon, and they started a Facebook page, and a lot of people joined from here in Solomon, and it's kind of cool to see because now they're throwing events for just anyone in the community to come to. And one of them is a pancake feed, just before our Solomon street dance down here. The Solomon street dance back in the day, I guess, was a huge deal. They've almost shut down the town. It's gotten quite a bit smaller since the glory days, but we're trying to bring it back to what it once was. Around here, we do have county fairs. The Augusta County Fair is at the end of July, and it's held there in Abilene, Kansas, which is only about 15 miles from Solomon, or less than that, actually, like 8 or 9 miles from Solomon. They have that. And then the Solomon, they do have our own individual festival, which is really kid-friendly, but also they do have like cornhole tournaments and things like that for the adults as well. As far as our whole customs and traditions community, we are a Christian background. A large majority lean conservatively. So looking a little bit at our characteristics of our population. So from what I found, our education attainment, less than 9th grade, 1.19%, 9th to 12th grade without graduating, a little over 8%, high school graduates, 41%, some college, 24%, associate's degree, 10%, bachelor's degree, 11%, graduate degree, 3.28%. I think mostly that has to do with we bring a lot of blue-collar workers in to work at the Solomon Corp, which I'll talk about later. Solomon Corp, and basically a lot of the only jobs here in Solomon that require a degree would be to actually work in the school system. Because we're pretty small. We're very small. Right now we have, I forgot to put this on there, it looks like, but right now we're just under 1,000 people that live here in town. Like 960, I think. So our average age is 31.1, pretty young. We're exactly, as what I could say, is 50% male, 50% female. The occupations there, Solomon Corp's top dog around here. They employ over 1,000 people. A lot of people coming from Abilene and Salina, our surrounding communities come. And our USD 393, our school system, is the second biggest employer. We employ around 50 people, 60 people, including paras and, all the way around, lunch, everything. Then we have DSNO, which is an electric company that purchases they kind of run through Evergy, which used to be Westar. They employ a decent amount of people as well. And then just going even lower, we have Bush's Market, Dollar General, and the City of Solomon all employ only 5, 6, 7 people. So other than that, that's about all we have in this town. We don't even have a gas station, which is been a huge argument around here, but we'll get into that later. Race, as you can see, we're primarily white. We're right around about 96% white. And then, as you can see, African Americans are not even listed. But we have 2 more races, American Indian, Alaskan Native, both 1.8%. Some of the race is 0.51%. So it's, and nationality, everyone. We do pull quite a few people in from surrounding countries to work at that Solomon Corp, but none of them live here. They commute together and live in their own little area there in Salina. So how do we get our information out to the community? We do Facebook, Twitter. We have our website. We have this app, I've talked about it previously, called ThrillShare, that actually hooks up our Facebook, Twitter, and our website live stream all in one. So I can make one post, send it out, and it goes to everything there. We also do alerts through that if we're going to cancel school, or if we need to cancel school for some reason, or whatever the need may be, which is good. And Facebook, our superintendent he is phenomenal at getting information out. He holds a Facebook Live once a week just to say what's going on in school, and anyone in the community can ask him questions right there. He does a very good job at that. Our YouTube channel is primarily for school events. We have it. We don't really have a local channel anymore. I know that they used to, but now we just use YouTube and live stream all of our games and anything we have going on at the school on there so that people can watch. And then I decided to include it. We just got a community live billboard, which is another way to get information out for the school down at the park. But now it's causing some controversy because it's so bright and people that live around it are complaining. So small town politics. They're used daily. I mean, every teachers are all hooked up to ThrillShare, which can put it out anyway, and people are always posting what's going on in the school. Then, like I said, our superintendent does a good job of once a week answering any political questions or any questions that may arise in our school system, like once a week. YouTube and Facebook are our most effective and the most used. So, our community groups. The American community is composed of groups of people who are organized special interests. So, we had a PTO and PTA and booster club and all that most school systems have. And just to try to get more people involved in all of it, we decided in the last year to combine everything into the Solomon Gorilla Foundation. So that is all of our PTO, that's everything into one, which is, I think it's been nothing but beneficiary because that includes everyone on those other foundations. Now it's one big, large group handling any issues or any fundraising or anything, and it's also lumped all of our money together so we can have big fundraisers and things of that nature. Talked about the Solomon Pride Committee. They do have a little bit of power here in Solomon. They did just started on Facebook, and people are joining and posting on there, and it goes anything from advertising a second grader's lemonade stand all the way up to fundraising for Operation Gorilla Family Foundation. It's pretty incredible to see the variety of things that are on there and the amount of people in Solomon that are on there as well. We have church groups and bond interest groups, and I'll get into bonds here in a little bit. For our leadership around here, we do have Lions Club, Rotary Club. We have a city council, business leaders, Knights of Columbus, and the school board are basically our top dogs around here. And again, a lot of these slides kind of get a little bit small in number or small in words just because there's not a lot that goes on here. But in our community, Knights of Columbus does fundraisers and gives out, and so does Lion Club. Gives fundraisers and gives out scholarships. I think business leaders hold a lot of stake in our school. They want to see us succeed, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But that's that. Again, our economic conditions are the biggest issues. We don't really have any issues. Like I said, we have Solomon Corp, but they kind of do their own thing. They used to be a family-owned company, but now they kind of sold out to a larger company out of California who took over 50% of the company. So the family that used to own it, yeah, they got a lot of money off of that, but also pretty much they sit on the board. That's about it now, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is corporately owned, so there's not much say around here. It's either their way or the highway. But going to Dollar General versus Bush's, it is a condition that I'm talking about here, but it kind of seems like, a lot of people that are hearing this probably won't care, but Dollar General just came in our Bush's Market, which is a family-owned company, been here for years and years and years since Solomonism was created, is struggling pretty good, and they're actually looking they could possibly close, which would take out our only grocery store here in Solomon. But then just small town drama again. We have the owner of Bush's on the city council, and they will not allow a gas station to be built on the other side of Solomon, which would be huge for us because we literally don't have one. I don't know what our issues are with having a gas station, but we have to drive about 15 minutes just to get gas anywhere here, and we have enough population to keep a gas station open, but I don't know all the politics behind it, but just the good old small town. Political structure, we have a mayor and we have city council. And that's it. If you want to throw the school system in there, you can, but our actual political structure, that's all we have. And it's pretty basic. Social tensions in our schools right now. Again, we lack a lot of racial diversity, but as far as our diverse people and just backgrounds, it's quite intensive. So we have a big issue right now in our school is gender preferences and LGBTQ, which people kind of don't say much about LGBTQ, but lately, I don't know how in depth we want to go in these presentations, but lately we actually have an individual student and now two students that want to use the opposing genders of bathrooms, and so now parents are in an uproar, not wanting that to happen for good and bad reasons. You can see both. I'm not going to get into that and not touch my political views either. So I'll leave it at that. That's our social tensions right now. Some previous community efforts. So bond elections, gay. I put in gas station again. Swimming pool, new bar and grill, which is a big deal. But I wanted to go. We're just getting a new bar and grill, which is kind of exciting around here. Again, small town. We had one about 5 years ago, but since then that guy retired and nobody's purchased the building. Well, somebody did, and they're actually putting it in. It's supposed to be opening up here in October, so get excited. It's big things around here. So we had an updated swimming pool a couple years ago. I said gas station already, but looking at the bond election, exactly 5 years ago, we had a bond election go up and fail. By going back to the last time, we had a lot of communication. Our superintendent and our school did a pretty good job at listening to the community, what they wanted, and now we actually have another bond election coming up. They just presented everything that's coming up. The vote is November 2nd, and they're doing a good job. They actually had just stakeholders go around to other schools and see what we absolutely needed, and they presented that to the board, which is in itself good because it made people in the community feel more ownership for the school. So it's coming up, and I think we're going at it the right way this time. The power structure, school board superintendent, Solomon State Bank, Solomon Corporation, Solomon State Bank. I said not to mention things twice, so I'm going to mention it here. The reason I said this is because the owner of the bank grew up here in Solomon. I won't say his name out of respect for him, but he grew up in Solomon. He lives here in Solomon, and he got this bank from his father. And he is just one of those guys that I thought of when this presentation came up, because he is one of those guys where he's just all Solomon. He doesn't have any kids in the school anymore, but he still comes to every event. He's always donating money. If I coach junior high basketball, if I ever want a fundraiser, he'll throw something together as simple as coming down to the street or to the main street and pulling weeds and for a couple hours, and he'll donate money to us, and a pretty good deal. He's just all Solomon and all positive towards Solomon. Solomon Corporation, as far as the power structure, they have power in a different way, where our location in small town is good for them because we're right on the interstate, right where I-35 and I-70 would meet, only about 10 miles or so. But the power that they hold is if they left, a lot of people would leave. Majority of our jobs would leave, and they would probably leave Solomon in shambles if they did. So that's the kind of power they own, whether they know it or not. So multicultural issues. Honestly, very small communities. You saw were 96% white and looked like just other races that were just kind of mixed in there. So I think one of our issues is actually lack of diversity. And when I say that is we have a lot of kids who graduate and leave and who've never had their views